practice skiing, if you like, on the infield here. Reversed it up onto the road and eventually got himself back up onto terra firma and finished the race in 15th position. But pole position converts into a race victory. Another new winner in this high variety year that's been the National Trans Am Series. Lockie Dalton winning from Cody Gillis and Ben Grice, the top three. In race number one, as we head down, here's Rusty.
Matty, thank you here in Shannon's Victory Lane. It has been a tough run for you in recent time. Ben Grice, that's got to feel sweet.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Feel real good in the car now. But got a hats off to the 5. He drove a real good race, and I think I had a bit for him early on, and we just sort of faded in the middle of the run there. But and got to thank my All-American Driveline team. We had some work under the bonnet to do on Friday with a little misfire, and got to thank everyone upstairs at Motorsport Australia Race Control. All the good people up there allowed us to do a discretionary practice, and the motor was clean as a whistle. So we'll tune her up overnight, get better, and we'll go a few steps tomorrow.
Look forward to that. Well done. Good job. There's Ben Grice. Now, it's been quite an investment by the Racing Academy team. So for Cody Gillis here, that is, special for all sorts of reasons, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's sort of, for the Racing Academy, it's a big moment. We've all been working hard behind the scenes, and, this is hopefully just the start, and I think it's a good result. Sort of gives the team a bit of hope, and for all the hard work they've put in, it's a bit of a result.
Nice start to the weekend. Well done. I saw Tim Slade giving you the congratulations there before too. That didn't go unnoticed. Well done. And here is your pole sitter turned race winner. It's a small but very special club of race winners in Trans Am, and you have just joined them. How good's that for you?
Yeah, it's good. It's a credit to Frenchie and Lee. They worked really hard, gave me an awesome car. Didn't matter where I put it, it just stuck. So credit to them.
Now, we've got family over our shoulder here and friends and all sorts. Good reaction?
Yeah, it's good to reward them and Andrew Walter from Andrew Walter Constructions and the Walter family. Like, the things they've done for me, I wouldn't be here on the grid, so a massive thank you to them.
Good job. All right, and importantly too, 60th anniversary for Gary Rogers Motorsport. Nice to have your name on that list.
Yeah, it's cool. Good thing for Gary.
He's rewarding the team nicely, isn't he? That's another win for the Gary Rogers team. 60th anniversary since the great Gary Rogers debuted at this track at Winton Motor Raceway as this June-long weekend crowd look on. It's been a busy day racing-wise, and we're down to the final one. Around 15 minutes away from Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia, Michael Clementi starting from pole. His first and the first for Cupra, getting set for that one very soon.
When's this, mate? Now. High-Tech Oils race Winton here at the Winton Motor Raceway on this Saturday afternoon. We've had a long day already, but there's still one to go, folks. We finish it off with Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia, the first of 3 races this weekend. And the sun has started to set. I mean, full cloud coming over right now. I mean, you've got to catch your breath, Molly and Fabian, after you witness that and Trans Am. I mean, they always deliver. You should see it from the commentary box. It's crazy town up there.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive to watch. And I mean, the battle for 8th, 9th, 10th is people want that just as much as you want the P1. And Lockie Dalton put on an amazing performance, but the battles further up back in the field were also pretty exciting.
There was a really interesting point that John Bowe made in the Touring Car Masters race, not only about the amount of rubber that's been going on, and we've noticed it when we come out here on the grid, but also the different kinds of rubber throughout the day. We've had so many different categories. How does it affect the TCR cars that are coming out?
It plays a huge part. I spoke to Jordan Cox earlier, and he says, turns 3 and 4, there's actually quite a decent build-up of different tyre rubber around the circuit, and especially in those 2 areas. So the car does move around a lot on that rubber. It kind of feels like you're driving over a cattle grade at times. I did a good sound effect of it before. I'm not going to do it again, but
it was pretty good. Speaking of Jordan Cox, there we go. When I was walking up and down pit lane during the Trans Am race, I walked past the GRM garage where Jordan Cox's car was, and they were changing a set of spark plugs. So no one would say if there was an issue precautionary what it was, but just interesting that was going on about 10 minutes ago.
Okay, we will wait and see. Michael Clemente in Phillip Island. Well, he joined the winners list. What a way to get your first race win with a brand new car that enters the category. It was quite a weekend for Michael.
He made a great start there too in the Cooper, the Carl Cox Motorsport entry. He's up in the third spot already.
Cox Motorsport, brand new Cooper, takes second place.
A beautiful move. And what's Clemente got? Cox can sense that Clemente may be a bit faster here. Oh, he makes a move. Oh! Into the side, the shape of the Peugeot. And the Cooper on debut, now starting to turn it up. He's going to etch himself into the record books. And Michael Clemente continues that growing list of winners.
Well
as the
done.
Carl Cox Motorsport team celebrate Clemente's first win.
There is a pretty cool list of winners in this sport, and now you are among them. How did that feel?
To do it on the debut of the car was something special, but at the island, one of my favourite places, family was there, it was emotional.
Pretty wild, because you'd had no real time in the car beforehand, had you?
Friday the week before, we spent Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday at the Melbourne Performance Centre workshop, just getting it ready and putting the livery on it, like having a look at the car, understanding, rolled it out for Friday practice, and I felt that it was fast, I could see there was speed in it.
Did you get a sense early on that you might be able to win something, and that then made you step up perhaps even more?
I was really hopeful. I didn't want to put too much pressure on myself, but I was looking forward to it, and it ended up being all right.
And the great thing about this class of racing is they level the playing field, but each machine does seem to have its little nuances. How different is the Cupra?
Yeah, exactly right. Fundamentally, they're all exactly the same. 4-cylinder turbocharged, front-wheel drive, like hot hatchbacks. But underneath them, they're all completely different. The Honda, that was a really good thing. The Audi was, different in its own way. And then I expected this to kind of be, like the Audi, being a German making all that sort of stuff. But it's in its own path as well. Driving this thing, you got to be real delicate with it. The Honda, you can just throw it in there for 20 laps and just hustle the hell out of it, and you'll be all right. But this thing, you got to treat it real nicely, and then she comes to you.
You've joined the winners list as well. What's the next target for you?
Hopefully a championship, a championship, and then I'd like to go and do something over in Europe. I think that's what's great about TCR as well. I can send this car over, or I can just fly over to Europe or UK or anywhere and race the same thing. Yeah, I think that's ultimately the end goal.
We wish you well for the remainder of the year, and good luck on that future mission. Based on the cheers we've seen from the family, we'll hear them loud and clear, mate. Go well.
Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.
I appreciate that.
Michael Clemente is ticking all the boxes at the moment. Race win down there at Phillip Island. Pole position here at Winton, and he has taken P1 on the grid alongside Bailey Sweeney, our championship leader. Our defending champion is a row back, Tony D'Alberto. Let's get the thoughts of the drivers ahead of this one this afternoon. Fabian?
Down here with Tony. Obviously, you got an interesting radio message on the warm-up lap.
Yeah, the race here has been declared wet, so which means that there is a chance maybe the rain's on its way, so that could definitely spice up this race. It's going to be slippery enough that opening lap, but if you put a little bit of water in there as well, it might be really exciting for you guys.
The Wall Racing Honda Civic Type R has been performing well. Second row on the grid. What's the plan?
Yeah, we're pretty happy with that. We need to find a little bit more pace, but I think these cars are generally pretty good off the line, as you know. So try and maximise the start and the opening laps, and hopefully we can settle into a nice little rhythm and bring home a trophy.
All right, good luck.
Thanks, bro.
We're on the front row of the grid. Bailey Sweeney, you've had a really, really close run to come second. There was less than a tenth in it between you and Michael Clemente. So you're confident that you've got a package that can be good for the P1 in the race?
Yeah, the car's very quick, and I was actually on lap before I got to the top and I got traffic. So good pace, hopefully put it to good use here in race one.
And in terms of the track evolution, we're seeing so much rubber. We just heard that the race has been declared wet, so that's maybe a potential thing. How's that feeling? What are you expecting from the driver's seat?
Yeah, the track's very gripped up over the weekend. It's gotten better and better. So a few clouds around, but I don't think it's a threat. So it's good for my eyes in the sun.
Have a good one, Bailey.
Thank you.
Aaron Cameron starting on the third row of the grid. A couple of cars in front, but, easily be able to pass those.
Yeah, I think we got pretty good starts to these things, launch control-wise. So, yeah, hopefully at least get Zach, maybe Tony D, just to annoy him a little bit. But, yeah, we'll see how we go.
Turn 1 and 2's normally a recipe for disaster. Are you going to sit back and watch?
Yeah, look, I tried to sit back and watch at the S5000 restart. I ended up locking up by myself and going off. So I am going to try and get through there, but if I have to go dirt, I know the line to take. So we'll see what happens.
Is that the Joker lap?
Yes, that is the Joker lap.
Perfect. Good luck.
Thanks.
Josh Buchan, you're looking pretty calm and composed. You're always pretty relaxed, but you look like you've got a bit of a race face on this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I want to do well. There's two dudes in front of me currently doing a better job, so I'd like to see if I can mix it with them. So, yeah, pretty focused, yeah.
You're making quite a few changes in the practice yesterday. Are you happy with the cars out, or are you still searching for anything else?
Oh, look, all we're chasing is what we're losing with the extra 40 kilos we have relative to everyone else. So we're just trying to make the car as good as we can with that. So we're very happy to be here in third. And look, if you gave me the trophy now for third, I'd take it. So, yeah, look, the car's in a good spot. We'll see how it goes over a distance.
Have a good one, Josh.
Yeah.
Starting a little bit further back than we're used to seeing you. What's the plan?
Move forward, mate. So, yeah, look, it's just the Peugeot pace this weekend. So, like when we're 6th, 7th and 8th line of stern, that's, that's us. So, but look, we generally race well. So, yeah, the Schaeffler Peugeot, I think, should move forward a few spots in this race. Yeah.
It always seems to make the highlight reels with your amazing car control.
Yeah, like I try not to highlight it too much, but it's, look, if we're not at the front, need to get some airtime for the sponsors.
No worries, good luck.
Cool, thanks guys.
Well, Zach Suter, when I came here, you were just finishing having some last words with your engineer. Can you give us any insight into what the game plan is?
Get to the front and pull a gap, that's it. It's that easy, isn't it?
Well, we all wish it was, but there's plenty of potential in this Honda. It's got the pace. Do you think it's got the race legs in it?
Yeah, look, it's definitely got race pace. We probably missed the mark a little bit in Q2. I think maybe we should have been one more row up, but regardless, it's got a really good package for the race, so we'll see how we go.
Do you guys reckon we'll see rain?
That'd be exciting. I hope so. I've lost all hope for the championship, so a bit of rain, I'd love that. Let's do it.
So elbows out and all about getting as far forward as you can, not worrying about championship points at this stage.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. We've had a rough 2 rounds with a lot of mechanical DNF, so it's all about going for race wins and podiums. So if it rains, that'd be mad.
Have a good one, Zach.
Cheers, thank you.
Tom Oliphant, there's a little bit of chat of rain around. I look up at the sky and it looks not too bad. What are your thoughts?
I'd love a little bit of rain. Anything to spice this race up. Yeah, we've got everything to push forward for. Nothing really to lose, so a few spits and sprinkles of rain would make it a bit more exciting.
You're back in the Alpha this round. I know you tested in the other car. What's your thoughts in comparison from car to car?
Look, they're very, very different. I think what we've suffered from here is we just haven't developed this car for this tyre. We've obviously worked a lot on the Lincoln Co, and honestly, after the test last week, I was feeling pretty confident. I thought we could be right at the front, so jumping back in this is a bit disappointing. But, we just got to make the best of the situation, and, P10 wasn't exactly what we wanted, but we've improved it every session, so hopefully we've improved it for the race.
All the best for the race.
Cheers, man.
Michael Clemente, I am not going to repeat what you just said, but so far so good. But when we were speaking after your awesome pole position, you were saying that there's still a lot more to unlock. So do you reckon you're going to do that, and where exactly do you mean you've got the more potential?
Oh, like the car tends to be pretty hard to drive. There's a lot of speed in it, but it can only be driven one way. That I'm finding, and just trying to adjust to that has been a bit of a challenge. But we're slowly getting on the ball. To get a pole is really cool, but like I said, I think there's more left in it, which is really cool, and it's good for the future. But it's not going to be no easy task today, that's for sure. The boys around, everyone's experienced, a lot of speed there, so I know it's going to be a pretty hard race.
Have a good one.
Thanks a lot, Molly. Cheers, guys.
Clay Richards, your first ever TCR race. What are your expectations?
Move forward. That'd be nice, but mainly just finish as well. Learn about the racing as well. Keep it clean and see where we end up.
All right, so all the best.
Thanks.
There you go, our drivers getting prepared for the first of 3 races for Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia as we head to take you up to the commentary box with Matt Nolte and Greg Rust. It's interesting, Rusty, the talk around here about possible rain on the way, some possible wet weather. You wouldn't think so at the moment, to be honest, mate. But anything's possible.
Well, maybe, Matty, there's the nice high shot here from the drone, something in the distance. I don't know. I mean, it could spice up the racing on the safe side. Let's have a look at the story so far by rewinding the clock to Phillip Island, round 2 of the championship, and that is where we saw a surge of speed from Josh Buchan for HMO Customer Racing. He started the weekend in good form.
It was a disappointing weekend at Symmons Plains. It was even worse for Will Brown, who's not here this weekend. That was the beginning of the end. And Tony D'Alberto, who cut a tyre down late in race number 1, saw him drop to the back of the field. But out in front, it was Josh Buchan cleaning up on the Saturday afternoon. Then it was time for the top 10 reverse grid race.
Nice stuff off the start by Jordan Cox. That weaving, don't let that worry you. That's all about ensuring that they're nice and warmed up on that run down here. So Clementi getting by Harris, and that's when we got a glimpse of the real potential as a wild ride for Jordan Cox unfolded across the top, past the hay shed and down into MG. Clementi saw an opportunity, he went for it. Cox wasn't necessarily that happy about it.
He wasn't thrilled, was he? But Clementi, he was ecstatic picking up the win in the debut run for the Cupra. Not a great start here in race 3 for Cody Garland and the MT8 E-Valvoline car. He would stay at the back of the field for that one, but Josh Buchan led us down to Southern Loop.
It was a good weekend for him and H&O Customer Racing. This unfolded for Harris, the new addition to Super Cheap Auto TCR. Island looking magic, and it was a magic weekend for Josh Buchan, but it's his stablemate who leads the way in the points in Super Cheap Auto TCR. Back to live pictures. Time now to thanks to speedsales.com.au for our track guide. And here's your driver, Tony D'Alberto.
All right, welcome aboard my Honda Civic Type R from Wall Racing. I'm going to take you for a hot lap around Winton Motor Raceway. Barreling down here to turn 1. Big brake, down from 5th gear to 3rd, up over the curb. I'm going to use as much as I can and hard on the gas. Let's see what she's got all the way up the hill here. 4th gear, braking about the 75 metre mark, back to 3rd. This one's a tricky corner, but you can use all the exit here to open up turn 4. Cross the curb, hard on the gas, up to the sweeper, up to 4th gear. Little brake here, not too much. We've got cold tyres at the moment. Giving a bit of throttle on, using a bit of curb here, up and over. Back to 2nd gear. Really tight part of the circuit. Good passing opportunity on the inside there. Hug the inside, we call this the tree. A little bit bumpy, hard on the gas. Really nice exit here. We want to maximise our drive. Use the edge of the curb. Heading up to a big braking zone here around the 50 metre board. Back to 2nd. Hard on the gas again. This is it. Heading up to the last couple of sectors, last couple of corners of this lap. This is a big braking zone here. You can make some good passing manoeuvres here if you're brave under brakes. And final little section. Thanks for coming on board my Honda Civic TCR car. Let's hope we have a fantastic weekend here at Winton Motor Raceway.
He'll start from 4th position here for race number 1 today. Make sure you jump on speedsales.com.au and check out some amazing race cars for sale. Tony D'Alberto taking us for a lap around this Winton Motor Raceway.
Such a great layout, 3Ks, all sorts of challenges for the drivers to contend with. We're ready for the first one of the weekend here at Winton. We jump on board with Michael Clementi, and while we're riding with him, we've got a very special message from the driving force behind this team. Superstar international DJ Carl Cox.
Hi Michael, just wishing you and the crew all the best for Winton. It was great to see you win and having fun out there with the new car. Looking forward to future races ahead. Looking forward to it. Oh yes.
I mean, he's got motorcycle riders at the Isle of Man TT. He's got Michael Clementi here in the Cupra Leon. He loves his motorsport. As we said earlier, we'd love to have him spinning the discs at a party at the end of the season, maybe. So Clementi has pole from the series leader or points leader in Sweeney. We go back to Tony D'Alberto, our champion last year, beside Buchan, who won at Phillip Island.
Zach Suter and Aaron Cameron start out of 5 and 6. Ben Bargwanna back from his TCR Global Tour race in Spa. Has Jordan Cox for company on 8th position. Lockie Manif and Tom Oliphant back in the Autoglim Alpha this weekend. Welcome Clay Richards into the series in the Shannon's Insurance Audi. Cody Garland joins him on the 6th row. Ian McDougall and Brad Harris, his second start in the Wall Racing Civic. That is your field of 14. Ready for race number 1. 20th round start this weekend for Jordan Cox. It's also Tony D'Alberto's 60th race in the championship. He finished 5th here in 2019, as we know, went on to win Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia last year and defends the championship. This guy never looked past Josh Buchan in car number 30. Doesn't matter what he applies himself to, this kid is very talented.
He loves driving just about anything, and he's very good, Matt, in that coaching kind of role too, as an instructor. So he knows how to keep it in, and that's why he's been so good with us when he's come up to commentary, because he keeps it in those layman's terms and knows exactly what's going on with the car.
Helps us.
That car rolling up to the first row of the grid now. If you rewound the clock in Super Cheap Auto TCR to 2019, well, it was one Will Brown at the wheel of an i30N who was unbelievable that weekend here. This is the newer generation car in the hands of Josh Buchan, and then we look at Michael Clemente closing the window, sealing the capsule. What's he got in that Ryco Cupra Leon? Can he get another win in the TCR Australia record books, just like he did with that breakthrough at the Island?
Eyes focused on that first turn, less than 400 metres away. As the revs rise, Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia right across the country here today on Stan Sport, and the 9 is away. Dramas for Cameron in the background. Clemente gets a good start. So too does Tony D'Alberto, but the door will be shut as his HMO Customer Racing teammate moves up to second. And I think that's Zach Suter trying to hang on the outside there in the tough lift. Audi car 110. It's a messy lap in the background. Buchan seesaw aways at the wheel, but holds on to that position. A wild couple of corners as race 1 is underway.
Getting brave on those cold tyres. This is Tom Oliphant from the British Touring Car Championship, in addition to our series in 2023. Bases himself in Wollongong with his fiancée, Jen. Oh, Clemente. Little bit of a lock brake, maybe just the back end of the car stepping out a little bit. So it's Clemente leading the way from Josh Buchan. Bailey Sweeney has dropped down to 3rd place, and a great start in that tough lift Audi by Zach Suter.
Jordan Cox is up 3 positions. There he is in the Schaeffler Peugeot. So 2 battle packs of cars. Ian McDougall glued to the side for a moment of the Burson Auto Parts Peugeot of Ben Bargwanna as the drivers continue to try and put heat through these Kumho tyres. And it's incredibly cool conditions out there. We saw the same during qualifying today. It took several laps to get some heat. The cars look awkward for at least 4 or 5 laps out there today.
You can see that flailing bodywork for Aaron Cameron's car, and it might be rubbing slightly, judging by a bit of that smoke, Matt, on that right front tyre. So he stays up it. Clay Richards knocking on the door of the 10, just like he was in qualifying, 11th at the moment. There he is in the Shannon's Insurance entry, chasing Ben Bargwanna.
So Clemente leads us through at the end of lap number 1 here at Winton Motor Raceway. He only led the 1 lap, and that was the final lap of the race in race 2 to score his maiden victory. He scored his first pole position here today. A team on the rise in 2023. This is feisty. These guys going through 3 and 4. Manif ahead of Cameron, Oliphant, and Ben Bargwanna just behind.
Manif's car looks like it's a handful at the moment, doesn't it? Just as everything perhaps comes up to temperature and pressure, but a good drive. He's up 2 spots into position 7, so feisty was the words by Matt. Have a look at this. The stablemates, the HMO Customer Racing teammates. Josh Buchan versus our points leader in Bailey Sweeney. Off goes Cameron. Oh, tough start. It didn't seem to want to get off the line, and it's just getting worse.
And that'll take a couple of laps to get rid of the mud off those tyres and underneath that car. So what a troublesome start to his race. And we're only 2 laps into it as he drops the tail. There's something more to that story. That's Harris in the exclusive switchboards. 74, the Honda Civic. Meantime, out in front, it's Clemente. Nearly a second clear now of Buchan, Sweeney, Suter, Jordan Cox, Tony D'Alberto, Oliphant, Bargwanna, Clay Richards up into 9th, and Ian McDougall now in 10th.
Clemente with the fastest lap so far, Matt, but Sweeney banking some good sectors. So we'll watch here. This is a replay of the start. A couple of things unfolded there. So Cameron with a difficult launch, but a great job in the Audi, the tough lift Audi by Zach Suter. And Sweeney with a bit of trouble too, sorry.
Marquardt also lucky to have that curve actually saved him on the inside too. For mine, Tony D'Alberto had the best start. This was Cameron and Cody Garland. So the two E-Valvoline cars making contact. And poor Aaron Cameron, what a busy lap this was. He got served up again on the exit of turn number 2. He looks up in the mirror and goes, guys, what is going on? It's the first turn.
Here's Jordan Cox continuing as we look at that. Oh, wow, that tells more of the story. Wow, on Tony D'Alberto. So Jordan Cox, who we were talking about making all that ground up to 5th, but there was a bit of elbows out stuff. And unfortunately for Cameron, that's what unfolded.
Meantime, here's Sweeney, feeling the pressure from his HMO Customer Racing teammate, Josh Buchan, has better power, better drive out of turn number 10. Suter looking to make this 3 wide, nowhere to go. He's pushing the 130 line. In fact, a bit of Morse coding going along here.
Remember me?
Russ Suter runs behind. He's told Josh Buchan he's done it. The Elf in-car camera with Josh Buchan at the end of the 3rd lap of this race. This is a much better day for Zach Suter. Remember, they had to withdraw this car twice at the first round. He knows he's on the back foot, probably not going to be in championship contention this year, but they need to develop this 110 Audi. It was brand new at the start of this year.
His dad's a guy that has raced at world level in sidecars, right, for this country, and he was, in a simple way, kind of calling for calm yesterday. They're a little, miffed and probably a bit rattled about what's happened in the opening couple of rounds. It's such a professional little outfit, this, that they figured they would be in a better place than where they are now. He said, let's keep it simple. Let's get a good foundation underneath us as far as car setup is concerned. Let's not get radical here in the pursuit of points.
They're not going to be learning anything with this car if it stayed in the garage at each round. Meantime, Cameron has made a quick detour into the pits at GRM. And looks like it's done the rallycross event here more than it's done a TCR race. He leaves the Shannon's pit lane and back onto the course here. Lap 4 of 18. Clementi and Sweeney unchanged in front. Suter up 2 positions. Jordan Cox is up 3 spots into 5th. And Clay Richards, the mover from the outside. He's now in 9th position in his debut for Melbourne Performance Centre.
Great stuff. The grandson of the great Jimmy Richards, who we hear will be with us tomorrow at Winton. Very cool. Jim's son, Stephen, the 5-time Bathurst winner, is absolutely on the tools, helping Clay Richards. So, good little group, good little family when you head down there to Melbourne Performance running that car. It's, at the moment, only a one-off entry, but we hope it'll translate into something more for young Clay Richards.
Of course, grandfather Jim, if we can call him that, won the very first touring car championship race here back in 1985. Those beautiful JPS BMWs went on to be the most round time winner here with 4 in the 80s in the BMW and Nissan GTR teams. So perhaps that's a bit of an omen. We know that Richards can motor cars at any circuit around this country, can't they?
Yeah, they sure can. He's been over in New Zealand running in the 86 series over summer. He's at the wheel of something regularly. And, it's a tough championship, that Australian 86 series, and he's been a front runner in that too, Matt, as you know.
And Stephen's been working on the car. In fact, I went into the garage yesterday at Melbourne Performance Centre, and there's Stephen Richards' legs hanging out from underneath while they were repairing the power steering dramas they had with the Shannon's insurance car. So he's in 9th position, while Clementi stays at 2.5 seconds. Fastest lap of the circuit so far is Bailey Sweeney with a 26.24. And he's just joined our coverage here this afternoon. The race has been declared wet, but so far we can't see too much precipitation on this racetrack. It's Clementi from Sweeney, Suter, Buchan and Cox here at Winton Motor Raceway.
That fastest lap you were detailing for Bailey Sweeney means that he has narrowed the margin, Matt, to 2.39 seconds to Michael Clementi, our race leader. Now, Clementi looks solid, particularly the mid part of the lap. He's fastest in the middle sector, and now Michael has responded. He knows that Sweeney is eking into that advantage that he's got. He's just gone fastest in the first sector, so nice response from Michael Clementi.
Our first time here also on the Kumo tyre. Last time we were here in 2019, we're on the Michelin tyre. Of course, we've moved into the Kumo tyre to bring us in line with the global series that comes to Australia later this year. So we might as well be on the same tyre as the rest of the crews across the world to give us a bit of a chance of running with them when they come to Sydney in November. And of course, Mount Panorama for the Super Cheap Auto Bathurst International. Back-to-back weekends. We've had back to Richards, Oliphant, and Ian McDougall, who's back behind the beautiful silver and red number 22 Audi for Melbourne Performance Centre. Of course, this team, Challenge Motorsport, setting up their own business now just down the road from MPC and committing to the future of TCR Australia.
We didn't have him with us for the Phillip Island round, but that was a leave pass with good reason. He became a dad. Little Ruby is, we had a photo of Ruby watching the coverage a little earlier today, so lovely news for the McDougall family.
Kind of couldn't get away with that one, could he?
Well, Granddad, who's here too, I think it's the first grandchild of the family, he's pretty happy, so lovely stuff. Michael, it's 2.2 now, so Sweeney has now a 1 minute, he's almost into the 25s, Matt, 1 minute 26.04. So Sweeney has the eyes on at the moment and is continuing to chase this man here, our race leader.
He looks so in control of this car. It's only its second meeting. They had a test day with this car last week in the lead up to it, but it's largely been untested. And he got out of the car yesterday quite frustrated. It just felt awkward, it felt weird, but he was still quickest. And that gave the team confidence. So once they get it right, this car is going to be unbeatable.
And I said it a little earlier in the coverage. That's one of the things about TCR globally. They have these measures to level the playing field. And that's a very difficult process because you've got all these different cars that perform and behave differently, right? So the Honda might have good drive, for example, and you know one of the other marques performs in a different way. So in some respects, Clementi's gone through a bit of a re-education to what's the best way for him to get the most from this Cooper Leon.
Exactly. He just needs to keep doing laps. We're in car now with the Carl Cox Motorsport entry, and that's a great addition. I mean, if Carl Cox is going to pick a race team, it's these guys, because there's always a party going on down in their pit area. Most notably was that day in Phillip Island last year. Our commentary box was down at turn 4, and we could hear the noise coming from that garage.
What concerns me is the mascot that he's got running in the roll cage there on the far right-hand side. Is that a Matt Nolte mascot, the Cookie Monster?
Well, I like supporting him.
Good.
Because he comes out of the now really in demand XL series. Bit of karting, has done the Bathurst 6 hour as well for controlling this race at Winton.
Been a couple of puffs of smoke, brakes locking just a little bit, which I think underscores the pressure Michael Clementi is feeling here at the moment. Bailey Sweeney in second place in that Hyundai i30N for HMO Customer Racing has narrowed the gap to less than 2 seconds now, and he looks like going sub 1 minute 26 here, Matt. This may be, this young man keeps going fastest lap after fastest lap in this race as he continues to hunt down Clementi. Now, that last corner, that apex wasn't necessarily ideal. Let's see what Sweeney does here. Fastest in sectors 1 and 2, he does. He goes at 25.689, new fastest lap of the race, and the margin, as you can see, is now just over 1.5 seconds.
Make sure you join Australia's most loyal loyalty club. Visit supercheapauto.com. We love their support. Justin Murray and the crew, they really get amongst this series, don't they?
I'm a member.
Card-carrying member?
I'm a card-carrying member. True story.
Is that why you were in the lounge that day?
Oh, stop it.
Okay, I'll get it now. No wonder my back's sore.
Here is Michael Clementi again. And now, there's some of that, I mean, we have to remember, Matt, he made that bid, got by Jordan Cox for that race win at the Island, but this is still continuing the learnings for this young man. It's not a position he's regularly been in, is it?
Not at all. And he's controlling it like he's done it a million times. He's got Bailey Sweeney just behind, who's a 4-time winner and leads the series. He was last year's TCR Rookie of the Year and came out at Simmons Plains with a dominant drive. And he arrived last year, we went, Bailey who? And he come out one at Bathurst in that sunset race we had on a Saturday afternoon. But since then has been a regular for HMO Customer Racing. Of course, a member of the Erebus Academy. The 20-year-old from Bateman's Bay, who's done some karting and a bit of Toyota 86, and now playing with the big guys at TCR Australia.
I think he kind of does his talking on track too, doesn't he? I mean, he's quietly spoken at times. Really, when you are in Shannon's victory lane and you see him down there and what it means to him and what he's doing at the moment by continuing to execute, right? Hit your lines, hit your marks, keep going lap after lap and delivering. He's got it down to, as I said now, just over 1.5 seconds. So he can do no more than that right now.
Incredibly different driver to what we saw last year as well. He was sort of shy, quite reserved guy when we first met him, but really professional now. He'll give you a quote when you go into the pits. He understands the media side of it now as well. He knows the more he's in front of the cameras, the more the sponsors see him, and he's letting his talking work on the racetrack right now.
I try to go easy on him. You are full hard-hitting current affair media.
Oh, yeah. Take no prisoners.
Bateman's Bay too, which is where he hails from, New South Wales South Coast. That is a beautiful part of the world. So it's now less than 1.5. Then it's quite a gap back to Zach Suter. I thought that Audi might switch on all the more. Maybe just in the early part of the race was perhaps at its best. But you know what? After the season he's had so far, those opening few rounds, if he can bring that 110 home in third, that'll be a good result. Some sugar. Clay Richards continuing in the background as we look at, speaking of generations, there's Jason Bargwanna. We've got all three generations here, don't we? So Harry and Alpha here.
Of course, Jude was dominant earlier today in the Kumo V8 touring cars. A bit jet lag still from returning from the Spa-Francorchamps track just a few days ago, in fact, where he contested his second round in the TCR Global Series.
He reckons he nearly held his breath going down through Eau Rouge. Apparently it was unreal. So, and it's been a little bit of an eye-opener of this is what I can't wait for when the World Tour comes here later in the year. Those drivers are playing for keeps. Ben said it's been a real good learning curve for him. They play hardball.
Every position is like up for $1 million, isn't it? I think the names like Tom Coronel, who's been around for many, many years in touring car competition. Over there, looking forward to seeing them come out later this year. Super Cheap Auto Bathurst International, featuring the TCR Global World Tour. It's an international event. We're looking forward to it. It was scheduled to be here a couple of years ago, but that word we don't mention, it starts with P, put an end to that. And now, with it all back to normal, we're looking forward to seeing some of the international greats coming out to take on the famed mountain there in New South Wales.
I feel for Tony D. He's dropped 2 spots. We saw that in this race. He's coming into this round of the championship 9th in the standings, our defending champion. He needs points. A great podcast chat with our buddy Aaron Noonan recently, talking about his career and some of the things that he's done over time. Nice to see him getting that light shone on his career. Hopefully tomorrow's a day where he can bank more points, and let's hope, Matt, too, that when we go to Queensland Raceway in August, get your tickets now at motorsporttickets.com.au. That's going to be a fabulous weekend up there with all sorts of categories, including ace stuntman Matt Mingay doing some shows as well. But we know Tony D was great at Queensland Raceway last time.
We love Matty Mingay. Looking forward to that round. But for now, it's Clementi still leading by 2.5 back to Sweeney and Sita.
Watching our reigning Super Cheap Auto Australia TCR champion, Tony D'Alberto at work. He sits 6th here at the moment in this first race of the weekend. Tomorrow we'll invert the top part of the grid. We'll mix things up a little bit. So that could be good for a, what are we talking, Matt? Maybe an Oliphant Richards front row. Wow.
Well, it's a good point to bring up too. The top 10, of course, reversing around. Oliphant missed it at the last round. And it backs up what we said during qualifying earlier today, that you can have a bad run in qualifying, but get yourself around that 9th or 10th position and be the Sunday morning superstar. It's not half points, it's only a 10-point drop. So it's not like an empty victory, is it? You're still getting 40 points for a victory.
How often have you been a Sunday morning superstar? You're often late here, aren't you?
Often, yeah. No chance of me being a superstar. I think I'm what you call a lemon.
No, you're not. Far from it, my friend. So yeah, I mean, it is a part of the thought process in the way you need to tackle and roll on the weekend. Clementi continues to cling to this. It's less than a second now. 0.9. Can Bailey Sweeney with a handful of laps? He's just chipping away, keeping that pressure on him. Meantime, Aaron Cameron, do my eyes deceive me? Is that I'm not sure that timing's right. It's popped up with a 1 minute 22.07. That sounds staggeringly fast. I'm not sure that's quite right.
It'll be 2 seconds under the previous record from 3 years ago. Everyone else in the 25s and 26s this race. In fact, 26.9 at 26.0, the fastest lap for Clementi. So I think they might be getting the rubber out in a second. Sounds good. Through they come again. So he knows that closing laps are here. It's less than 0.8 of a second as he sees that Ryko sign starting to get bigger in front. The Cupra has led this race from the get-go. Conditions getting darker here at Winton Motor Raceway.
0.7 now. Again, 2/10 by Bailey Sweeney. There are some very good people in that HMO customer racing operation. Rob Benson, what a great Australian motorsport export story he is. And down there these days, having been in NASCAR and all sorts of things on the international scene. And you mentioned it earlier today in qualifying, Matt. There are 2 cars that we're seeing on track here at the moment. A third in the stable. Wouldn't that be cool to get a third Hyundai on track maybe in coming rounds?
Absolutely. Of course, Rob Benson oversaw the test day with Bailey Sweeney and said, yeah, this kid's got it. We've got to give him a run. And Benson, of course, been with this team since the first race. HMO Customer Racing were the OGs, I guess, of TCR back in 2019. They've stuck it through some tough times during 2020 and early 2021, but now being rewarded with a couple of young guys hitting their straps in Bailey Sweeney and Josh Buchan.
Love the fact that Benson backed him. I think that's tremendous for that young man. Now he flashes the light, so he's the intimidator. He's doing all that he can to try and rattle Clementi. It's down to 0.5 now. Sweeney chasing Clementi.
So around half a second is the margin. Bailey Sweeney has had the chisel out in the last couple of laps here, chipping away. And Michael Clementi's got the headlights ablaze now, trying to intimidate the Carl Cox Motorsport Cupra ahead with 4 laps remaining. They've pulled away some 6 seconds back to Zach Suter, who has the same margin back to Buchan, who's got Jordan Cox 6/10 behind him.
Meantime, the other part of this story as we near the end of this first race is a reminder that race 2 and 3 to come your way live tomorrow, and we'll invert the top 10 on the grid for race 2. So that would mean the grandson of Jim Richards, Clay Richards, would be on the front row for tomorrow's race. Provisionally, the Brit Tom Oliphant from the British Touring Car Championship driving for Ash Seaward in that Alfa Romeo on pole.
Of course, the only place to see it is on Stan Sport tomorrow, each and every round of the Speed Series. Live and ad break free. Head to stansport.com.au/sport and start your 7-day free trial. Do it now. There's a lot of motor racing coming up in the next 24 hours and a load of sport. Only place to watch it on Stan Sport.
Time running out. He got it down to half a second. Looks a little bit closer this time. Let's see as they cross the start-finish line. That's 0.6. So Clementi's doing a good job here to maintain, to try and keep it at that. But the lines from Sweeney are tidier, aren't they? So different approaches here, but it's still keeping Michael where he needs to be.
He's just going to harass him. Make sure Clementi just stares more at the mirror than what's ahead. It's a clean racetrack. There's nobody really around him that's going to interfere with this race ahead. There certainly won't be some lap cars in this one. Through that long sweeping left-hander at turn 4, change of direction up over the top of the curb here. Into this really tricky, but a part of the circuit that rewards patience.
You can always remember Jason Barguana talking about a really significant race win in his career. When he got away and he got ahead of the field as Clementi has done, he moved the rearview mirror so he couldn't see behind him or wouldn't be focused on that part of it, and he didn't readjust it, the one in the cabin I'm talking about, until the end of the race, until the last lap.
0.8 of a second. It sits at this. Suter is safe for 3rd position now as these two make their way down to turn number 11. There'll be 2 laps remaining. Of course, tomorrow's reverse top 10 race features Oliphant and Clay Richards as the front row as it stands at the moment.
Well, they haven't had, just as we've been watching all sorts of, again, he flashes the lights at him. He keeps trying. You've got to use every asset in your armoury, don't you? There's 3rd place. That'll be a huge result for the Suter family, for that team. If he can bring it home in 3rd position. I was going to give a quick shout out, Matt, to Lockie Manif. It was a bit of a wild ride to start this race. That's another good performance. 7th in this one at the moment.
A couple of 7th place finishes this year for Zach Suter. In fact, his best result is over 12 months ago. He picked up the win in race 3 at Symmons Plains. So they'll take a podium. His 5th one of his career. As Sweeney continues to harass and annoy the 22-year-old from Point Cook here in Victoria. The remaining lap and a half.
He had a glance, he had a little look just to see where Bailey is. He keeps it at 0.7. So here's where you see from our drone shot a couple of places where the I-30N might be fractionally better, where it might have a little bit of an advantage. And then the Cupra comes back into its own. This is a great arm wrestle between 2 young racers, and it's a rare wide that Bailey Sweeney bowls. He goes very deep under brakes. Nice recovery.
And lucky not to go on the outside. Now there's a massive puddle in between the racetrack and pit entry that Adam Garwood found earlier today during Touring Car Masters. Is that enough to let Clementi off the hook? He starts the final lap as he dances and bounces the Carl Cox Motorsport Cupra through the S's on this, the final lap.
How's the confidence level going to be for this young guy? Gets the brand new car at Phillip Island, untried, untested, gets a race win. He then comes here to Phillip Island as the family and friends look on. I think he's one of 5 from memory, 5 kids in the Clementi family. They've worked enormously hard to get to this point, to garner the attention, to get the support of people like Carl Cox. He goes and gets a pole position, puts the Cupra Leon on pole. It's an awesome addition to our raft of makes and marks that we have in Super Cheap Auto TCR. But he has had to fight for this one, Matt. This will be one to savour.
Hasn't been a walk in the park, has it? And pole position earlier today with a new qualifying lap record for the Carl Cox Motorsport team. Doesn't he know how to get behind the right people? He's involved with events like the Isle of Man, the Macau Grand Prix and the Goodwood Festival. And these days with Michael Clementi in Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia, 1 turn remains. What a day it's been. Practice yesterday was strong, qualifying was better. Pole position is race 1 here at Winton Motor Raceway to Michael Clementi. The team, a round of applause, hugs and kisses and high fives all round.
Great job, Zach Suter, for the Tough Lift outfit. They've brought that car home in 3rd. There's a little bit of emotion. That shows you what it means. It hasn't been a case of just go and get whatever you want, let's go racing. It's been a lot of hard work and hard graft for that family. They're hands-on in that operation. That's a good win, and as I say, Matt, that'll be huge for his confidence. Pole position to race win for Michael Clementi, his 2nd one in this championship. Well done to everybody down there. Completed our top 3 by Bailey Sweeney, who continues to add points in the title race. Zach Suter, after a tough start in 2023, is in the top 3.
And a long way back to Josh Buchan in the end there, some 7 seconds. Jordan Cox gets some points in the Schaeffler Peugeot back in 5th. But your pole man tomorrow, Tom Oliphant, will be joined by rookie Clay Richards. We spin the top 10 around for tomorrow. Gives the UK driver the pole position for Ash Seaward Motorsport. That's cool.
Great stuff. Oh, a lot to digest from that. Ian McDougall, new father, back in the game, finishes 11th. Brad Harris and Aaron Cameron, what a tough day, whether it's S5000 or TCR, it's been for him. Race 1 highlights for you of Super Cheap Auto TCR from Winton. Couple of them having troubled starts, including Aaron Cameron. Down into one, Clementi would lead them, and a fast-starting Zach Suter put his hand up for a top 3.
Tell you how lucky was Ben Barguana. That car was being unloaded. He was the meat and the sandwich. This is the view from Aaron Cameron. That's Barguana ahead. And Clay Richards getting a big welcome to Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia. He got through, and Cameron, this was just a messy sequence of corners. D'Alberto was lucky when he was assisted off the track by Cox down here. This was Aaron Cameron again in the highlights. For all the wrong reasons, in the E. Valvoline number 18, rally crossing it off the track. That car would go back to the pits, but he got a result back there in 14.
Might be a few Peugeot pilots on the way to Motorsport Australia race control. That tells more of the story. The wide for Buchan was all it took. That was all the opportunity needed for Bailey Sweeney, and Zach Suter said, you know what, I'm in for the run here too. Up into third.
And 2 for the price of 1 for Zach Suter and the Tough Lift team. Clementi felt the pressure for the second half of the race from Bailey Sweeney. He went 1 lap too early trying to attack the Carl Cox Motorsport entry, but it was Clementi. Pole position and picks up the win in race number 1 of Super Cheap Auto TCR Australia. Nice job. You'll start from 10th position, to the joy of the Clementi Motorsport team down there. They're a vocal team. They will love this as he comes into pit lane. Shannon's victory lane. He climbs out of the number 15, the Cupra, collects the chocolates here at High Tech Oils Race Winton. Day number 1. Let's go to Matty White. He's down in victory lane.
Yeah, Zach Suter is just about to get the helmet off, just working through the gloves. Some great scenes down here. I mean, all 3 cars, all 3 drivers greeted so wonderfully as they came into victory lane. Zach, here we go. Well done. Congratulations on the podium.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to finally grab a podium. I think we've probably should have had a few more this year if it wasn't for those mechanical dramas, but it's great to finally grab a trophy for the team at Tough Lift Racing.
Weird race, I guess, for you, because you were kind of out there on your own for most of the back end of it.
Yeah, it was insane. Like, I didn't have the pace of these 2 guys, and obviously I had a lot more pace than the guys behind, so it was just about bringing it home and bagging some points after the start we've had. So, but no, really happy. I think first of the sedans, which is good. So, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Well done. Congratulations.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Righto, let's move on to second place. Bailey Sweeney, our championship leader. Well done, Bailey. More points in the bag.
Yeah, thank you. Car was quick. It was good fun chasing down the new Cooper, and yeah, good points for the championship. A few misfortunes, fellas. So yeah, good day for us.
Right, talk us through the back end there, the last couple of laps, and the agitation factor that you were putting on Michael.
Yeah, I was trying my best to put him out. He was quick, so I had to do whatever I could to get him off his game.
The championship, it's very important. You came in here with the lead. You've just added, like I say, a whole swag of points. Must feel pretty good going into tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. That's what my main goal is, the championship. So obviously nice to be on the podium and get a second, but yeah, looking forward to the championship. That's our main focus.
Well done. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, Noble, we go to our race winner after, well, a breakthrough at Phillip Island. You come here, Michael Clementi, and you get your first pole position and another race win. Congratulations.
No, thank you, mate. It's been a pretty awesome weekend so far. Massive thank you to the team, sponsors, Carl Cox, Ryko. Yeah, let's finish the job.
Hang on, they're not making enough noise, Team Clementi. You're not making it. There you go. That's how you celebrate it. This is one heck of a car that you've got. Comes into the category, delivers. So it's a credit to you as well that you've been able to manage to handle this brand new machinery as well and take it to the heights that you have.
Yeah, exactly. It's an awesome car. The Cooper is really good to drive. It required such a different driving style, but I think we're kind of getting used to that now. 2 rounds in, but yeah, it's just the start of something that hopefully ends up pretty good.
How are you so cool, calm and collected when these guys are so crazy behind you?
I don't know what it is. Maybe the salami, I don't know.
And what about the back end there when Bailey he had the lights going, he was trying everything?
Yeah, mate, that thing's quick. Credit to Bailey and the team. He's driving that like a weapon, like he usually does. And but yeah, I got a decent start, and then I thought I could kind of manage, but he come in really hot, and I was giving it everything. So yeah, it's probably going to be a good race tomorrow as well.
Well done. Carl Cox Motorsport salutes again. Team Clementi is happy again. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.
Fantastic result. Well done to Michael Clementi Motorsport. They'll start from 10th tomorrow, but a big bag of points coming up for that team. Clementi, Sweeney and Suter, the top 3. Well, motor racing doesn't stop when we leave here at Winton today. Tonight, the magic of the Le Mans 24-hour begins. Catch all the action as the legendary Endurance Classic celebrates its 100th year. These are some of the coolest cars you'll ever see in a truly world-famous motorsport event, and it's all happening right here, live, ad-free, on demand on Stan Sport.
This isn't mock. This isn't mock. This is not a rehearsal.
Clear the grid immediately. We have started the 24 hours of Le Mans.
Pro.
We have a lot of debris before the first chicane.
I crashed.
What happened? Are you okay?
It's over. Sorry.
This is the final lap.
Okay, got it done.
The 100th year of the Le Mans 24-hour race tonight on Stan Sport. That is your top three here as the sun sets at High Tech Oil's Race Winton. Championship-wise, well, Bailey Sweeney sneaks into the 300s now. It's a 31-point margin back to Michael Clementi with that big bag of points today. Jordan Cox third, Josh Buchan is now fourth. A tight little battle pack there, second, third and fourth, with Aaron Cameron completing the top five. Well, we're not even halfway through the